Wild with Lisa Hicks and Candy Nelson.
Hello, everyone. How are you tonight? Sorry, it's been a while. It has been a while. Been a little under the weather lately, I myself. And Candy, I do apologize. Last week, I'm sure you were ready to go, and I was in bed feeling like I was dying. So again, my apologies to everyone that was coming on to the show and waiting for us and being patient as always. And then we were a no show because of me. But I have not been that sick in a while, Candy. Like, you know how you usually don't vomit or get nauseous when you have Morgellons? That's a first for me. Well, actually, I think it's happened one other time whenever I was herxing from detoxing and whatnot. But this was bad. It was a bad deal. I was so sick, and I wasn't detoxing or anything. I was just sick as a dog. Still can't figure that one out. But on a different note, how are you and how's everything been going?
I'm wondering too if that little stomach stuff you had going on might have been COVID related because I actually had upset stomach when I had the COVID. And
Really?
yeah, the last time, yeah.
Yeah, my daughter had COVID too, now that I think about it, and had the little tummy issue. But she actually ended up sick with this again, and she's already had COVID because her and I were both like way under the weather. Even her boyfriend ended up getting it, and I feel bad because I initiated it. Where I picked it up from, I have no idea because I sit in my car as a private investigator, so it's not like I was out and about, which was the weird part. But since we already had that, I don't know. I just don't know. But like to me, it's weird because when you have Morgellons, you don't typically get ill with like a flu bug or stuff like that, right?
Well, what like when my family got the COVID the first time around, right? They all had fevers and chills and I mean it was really 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 bad. All I got was a headache and I couldn't get off the couch. I was so sleepy. But I
Yeah,
didn't
well,
get
that was the other thing. My head was pounding. I mean, I had to like put a pillow over it. I had ice on my head. I put magnets on my head. It
well, I
was
didn't even get the
horrible.
same I mean, I'm just saying I didn't get the same symptoms they did and
But they did, yeah.
my husband, my daughter and my grandbaby, all of them were sick as a dog and I was like all
Right.
I got was a headache and I couldn't stay awake.
Yeah. See, and that's kind of how it works for us typically. We don't get to the extreme as what others do. But I don't even honestly know if I had COVID because I am that stubborn. I didn't even when I showed. I always cough, right? I mean, because we have constant
Morgellons.
congestion with this Morgellons, yeah. So I didn't even ever go get checked. I assumed, yeah, maybe. I mean, I knew that either way, if I went in, it's probably going to show up positive no matter what, because who knows what they're pulling at that point. But I didn't go in, and I'm sure that I probably would have tested positive at any time that I went in. Didn't go, don't know. But I do know this, whatever this was, because my daughter did have it. And like what you explained with George and the grandbabies and whatnot, that's how she was. She was very ill. But this time she actually caught whatever I had from me. And she had to have because it was within 24 hours time. Next thing you know, she's got all the symptoms with the belly and the headache and then trying to vomit. And then next thing you know, her boyfriend could come over, shortly after. Like it was like like a domino effect. But I mean, my head was, I thought it was going to pound out of my head. And I get migraines anyway. And this put a migraine almost to shame. And that was Friday whenever we were supposed to go on. And I'm just like, I can't do this. I didn't even know it was Friday, to be honest. It was that bad. So I hear that you went to an eye doctor and you
Yeah.
have some news to share about that. You want to
Yeah.
talk about that?
Yeah.
Let's
So,
do it.
yeah, so what happened with my eye doctor is, I get the little nodules like on my lower lid down here, and
Yeah.
most of the time I can take care of them myself, and if I can't manually do it myself, I put a little bit of 30 ppms of colloidal silver in my eye, just a little drop, and
Yeah.
usually it'll clear it up. Well, sometimes it just don't work. So I called my eye doctor to make an appointment, which typically, whenever I would call, they would tell me, oh, well, you don't need an appointment. Just come on in as a walk-in. We'll get you in. So I called to make the appointment, and they said, well, he's not here anymore. I'm like, what do you mean he's not there anymore? Where is he? And I was like, only he can help me, because he knows about Morgellons. We talk about it. And So they told me where he went. Well, I called to make the appointment, and he was out that week. So I had to wait till the next week. So I called back the next week, and they gave me an appointment for 2 months out. And I was like, oh, well, I've been dealing with it for this long,
Yeah,
I was like,
a little bit
but I
longer.
said, if anything should come open, prior, before that 2 months, I said, please, put me on a list to get in there. And so they were like, oh, okay. So they did. They put a star by my name and hung up the phone. And I swear it wasn't like 3 minutes later, they called me and said, oh, we just had a cancellation at 2 o'clock today. Can you come? I was like, yeah. So I went in, and so he tells me, he's like, I was just thinking about you the other day. How have you been? What have you been doing? And so I told him how I had got into the foraging for the medicinal plants and doing things like that. And I showed him my legs and all, where everything was all healed up. And he's like, that's amazing. He said, but he said, can you tell me just one plant that did the very most for you, that helped you the most? Just one. So I told him, it was the plantain. And
Well,
so we
plantain.
talked, well, and we talked for a bit. And he said, well, he said, there's a reason why I asked you that. He said, my son is going to college, and he's trying to get into foraging and um, natural medicines through plants. He said, there's no money in it. I was like, yeah, there's no money in it because it's free. And he said, yeah. He's like, but he's all curious about it. He's like, he really wants to get into it. And I told him, I said, well, I said, I've had to learn a lot about the plants and stuff, and I know a lot. I said, I'm no expert because I had to learn on my own. But, here's my cell phone number. I said, if he wants to meet me for lunch one day, I'll be glad to teach him everything I know about the things I've learned. And I said, you're welcome to give him my number. Just have him text me and tell me who he is, so that way I know before he actually calls me. But I said, I'll be happy to meet up with him. And so it was just amazing because, like I said, he talked to me about Morgellons, talked to me about his son. So getting into plant healing is what he called it. And so I'm
Yeah,
excited.
herbalist type. What do you call that? Horticultural healing, I think. Okay.
Medicinal plant.
Yeah,
Medicinal.
medicinal plant therapy or something. Yeah. So, do you see? We have Carrie Martinez that left 2 comments. She says, "I don't know if you've heard about med beds but these are coming out now that will get rid of Morgellons." And then she says, "Look up Dr. Michaels." In which case, I just did.
I think that's Larry. That's a guy. I don't have my
Oh,
glasses on.
okay. I
It looks
can't
like a
read it. I
Larry to
can't read
me.
it very well. I'm so blind, and my TV is way far away. I'm sorry, Larry. Larry Martinez. Okay. I literally am like, see, I have googly eyes on, and I cannot see very
Yeah,
well.
I don't even have my glasses on right now.
So I looked that up, Larry Martinez, and it's something. The new QAnon conspiracy involves a magical bed for zombie JFK. To talk about. Okay, so I guess what Larry is trying to share with us is what I'm reading here. It says it's in a popular QAnon chat group. A woman named Julie was selling hope and a $22,000 cancer treatment for those interested in meds. She wrote in a 36,000 member QAnon group on the chat platform Telegram. FYI, my husband uses a medbed generator and 4 Tesla biohealers for his stage 3 inoperable and aggressive salivary gland tumor. This technology is very supportive. It goes on to talk about how it cures different things. I got this off of the Daily Beast.com. So I guess if you Google the dailybeast.com, medbeds, and then Dr. Michaels, I guess you will probably be able to find it. I myself have never heard of this. I myself don't ever want to be tied down to a bed and lay there just to get well. I'm not sure that it works. I mean, Larry, you seem to think it does. Do you have any circumstantial things that have happened to you that show that it does work? Or, I mean, if you wouldn't mind elaborating on that via here, or if you'd like to join us on this group text or chat, I will gladly provide you the link if you're still there. What do you think?
And two, remember the podcast we did here a while back? Somebody said, I'm like,
Somebody said, but
yeah.
no
So
one worked for the other. But I mean, I can't imagine.
unless you've had
I mean, the Tesla
experience,
part actually makes sense.
unless you've had firsthand experience or done your own experiments, just because somebody said,
Right.
it's like scary, because you never know.
You never know, and we're talking, $22,000 for cancer treatment. So a med bed. I mean, we don't want to go to bed yet. We want to walk around. We want to function, and I mean, and I kind of get it. It has 4 Tesla biohealers. I've never heard of Tesla biohealers, but I know that Tesla was a very, very wise, intelligent individual beyond our years, even anyone's years and time. Obviously we should be not even paying for gasoline. But,
what are these med beds? Is it like they put you in a coma or something?
It looks like what I'm seeing is that
oh.
I mean, it looks like it's got Tesla biohealers, which I've never heard of. I mean, that doesn't mean that, I don't know anything about that. I know Tesla was a brilliant man, and anything Tesla does is probably, driven towards the right track, but I've never heard of this. And so, Larry Martinez, if you wouldn't mind elaborating on this, we're all ears. We're all obviously, we're influenced by this disease, where we refuse to call it, sick or anything, because we are relentless. We don't give up. We have no quit in us, but we are influenced by it, and it does have an effect on our health and our well-being. And have more info to provide other than look up Dr. Michaels. We're all ears. We are. But other than that, I mean, if you could say, hey, I tried this and here's my proof, or show us some sort of, scenario that actually happened, we would be, although I don't think any of us want to be tied down to a bed. And when I say tied down, I realize it's not tied down, but we're still living. We're living, we're kicking, we're breathing. And even though our bodies may be changing and evolving into something that we're not even sure of, we have no idea. What Candy and I both also, I know we're on the same level here. What we figured out is you've got to live. You got to keep living. And Candy and I were talking about this earlier, and if we see something coming up on the scan or whatever, and Candy says the best, she's like, I just slap some Campho-Phenique on it and I go on my merry way, because she's living. And the living portion is, I can't have that here. Thank you, honey. There, please. Sorry. I told you, my daughter. So the thing is, though, a lot of this, I think, is a mental and spiritual aspect, and how you attack it and approach and then attack it. And that's just me thinking out loud. But what are your thoughts on that, Candy?
Well, and yeah, I've just noticed just a few times over the last couple of weeks. I told you. I know the let me see, MK Ebways are still out there.
Yeah, I got something to show you about that.
But there used to be a time when I would walk through them, and immediately it was like, oh my God, I'm freaking out trying to get them off of me. Well, now, I've walked through a couple the last couple weeks, felt them on me, and it's like, yeah, I know what you are, but, poof, be gone with you, and I'll go on my merry way.
Out of mind.
Yeah, because it's like, no, you're not going to get me in that state of mind anymore. Never.
Yeah. And it is spiritual in that, when you look at it like that, isn't it amazing how that works? And I know I have a good friend, Sharon, and she's been on here before. We've talked about those MKL trays in the sky, and living proof, she is, and myself, you can pray them away. Now, you want to talk about a spiritual gift right there, or just an answer to your prayers by the good Lord above. The fact that when you can pray and watch the sky deplete itself of those, that's got to tell you something right there, that a lot of this has to do with a spiritual attack, healing, and wellness. A lot of it. I do believe it. And look at you now, and look how you are now.
It's our thought pattern, because listen, I can tell you, like when I was doing my booth for bike weight one year, I'm loading up the stuff in my vehicle and I'm looking up at the sky and it was completely covered. And I got so aggravated and stressed out thinking about all the bikers that was coming in from other states and stuff for bike week. And they're riding in that all day long. And
yeah,
I was just like,
and I'm one of those. I was a motorcyclist myself, so I never thought about that.
I put my hand up to the sky and I did the energy clearing on the sky. And
I just with someone today about the energy clearings.
I kid you not. By the time I got up there, which was maybe 20 minutes later, get up there, get out to unload my stuff, and it was like the sky was clear. And another time,
my friend was your proof right there.
And another time too, a friend of mine was in Kentucky, and I was sitting outside, talking to her on the phone, and I look up to the sky, and it was completely covered. And I asked her, I said, just go to your window, look out, and see what your sky looks like in Kentucky. She said, oh yeah, it's covered. I was like, well, let's sit here together on the phone, and we both did that clearing at the same time. And it was like,
so if an energy clearing works, then going to the Almighty on high, that's a no-brainer. Then you're going to clear it up. And I'm not saying that in any means, like saying, look, you're going to cure your cancer, this, that, and the other. But I do believe there is a spiritual side. I don't care if it's like a faithful side where you have faith, or where you believe, or where you are just not allowing that negativity to penetrate your soul and your spirit. You're not allowing it. There is something to be said with that or for that. And like I said, I have prayed things away. I mean, when I go outside and myself, one of my things that I experience along with Morgellons is the lights in the sky, or some would call them UFOs. I've always called them demonic nonsense. A lot of people are like, that's a ship, that's a craft. Well, whatever you want to call it, whatever they are, number one, shouldn't be there. But number two, if you're seeing them, they're obviously there. But I have prayed those away. I have literally went from dark clouds over my home with these lights and these beings and things that I can physically see. And even though maybe others can't see, that doesn't mean we're crazy. That means our minds on that vibrational level of frequency in the matrix, which is what I put on this little title here. The matrix is nothing more than a vibrational level of frequency. And I think that when you pray and when you change your spiritual aspect and the way that you are looking upon things, or when you put your faith and trust into another dimension, which is a frequency, just like the rings of Saturn, I believe that you're taking yourself from one place and placing yourself in a better place, or another frequency that clears it for you. And I call it the God frequency. That's my way of thinking of it. Whether it be a cleansing on any level, it's a frequency that exists. There's many of them, what I'm starting to find out. And my understanding is, and I'm not saying I'm right. I mean, I'm still learning like everyone, but a lot to this, but I think it starts with our internal wellness, where we are spiritually, as far as our mind, what are we thinking? What are we wanting to tackle at the moment? What do we see before us? Do we want to see it? How are we going to deal with that? You can pray it away. You can pray that away. You can do your cleansing, like Candy said. You can. It is where you're putting your vibrational level at that point. It's honestly on hands. A lot of it, I believe it is. Not saying all of it. There's obviously in every dimension or frequency that we, come to be in or we find ourselves in, I think that there's going to be always an obstacle and a challenge.
And I think whether you're doing the energy clearing or whether you're praying or whether whatever, as long as your intent, that the intent to be
Your
positive,
intent,
to make
yes, ma'am.
positive change, the intent, no matter, like I said, whether you're doing an energy clearing, whether you're praying, whether you're meditating, whatever you're doing, it's the intent that we have the power to intentionally change things with our minds.
Yeah,
We do.
intent was exactly the word I was looking for. Thank you. It is, and if you think about it, Candy, am I right or wrong? Like with anything we do in our lives, if you go for a job interview, right, and you doubt yourself upon that, interview, right before, during, or after, your intent wasn't intended in its best, performance or interest, I should say. But if you go into something, and I've noticed this in life myself, how you perceive things, how you look at, and what your outlook is, honestly, has 100% of everything to do with the outcome, almost always. There is always that 1 or 2% chance that you got that, or maybe you think you have, but I mean, maybe it just wasn't meant to be at the time, and you got to look at it like that. But intent was definitely a word that I was searching for, because I think our whole lives actually revolve around intent, which is why we have a dark and a light. We have the angel on one shoulder, the devil on the other. And the intent for both of those is part of who we are in our makeup, because of, well, our beginning,
And
our end,
actually, I
in
think
our
that's why
DNA.
I think that's why my symptoms got better, because my intent from the start was, like I said, I never was like, I want to die. I can't do this. I was like, I want to heal. I want to see the other side of this. I want to fix this, so that intent was deep. Like, I mean, it was deep inside me. I was like, no, I am not
And
giving
no
up.
giving up.
And so, wow. I mean, it took long enough, but I mean, I'm like, oh my God, I've had so many people tell me, oh, you look so much better. You look amazing. I can't, and even my doctors, my doctor was like, what have you been doing?
And like you just said, what might take 20 something years for one and maybe only 2 years for another, we don't know. But it is, like you said, it's all in good and God's good time, in my opinion. But I mean, it is the intent. It is losing the fear, having the faith, discarding the demons that try so desperately to haunt us and pull us down and ram us into their pits of darkness, and we're human at the end of the day. So it's not like it's a hard thing to do for them, right? But the easiest thing that we can do, and although we just never think of it, and seemingly we find it harder, is to just let go and let God, as some would say, or let go of the fear and embrace the spiritual gifts and power that you have within you, which is faith. It's faith. It's understanding. Like, they cannot lay a hand on you. Morgellons cannot. They're not allowed. I don't care if you want to call it nanotech or from our modern day society, or so much technologically advanced that we can't fathom. I don't even care what realm that comes from. I believe that our faith and our well-being in ourselves and our Creator above, I believe that trumps all 100%. And just with that said, I am having horrible lesions on my body. I have been moving, and everything that I've moved, of course, is accumulated with dust and all sorts of fibers and particles of all sorts. And you can't, it's like I'm trying to see it. I'm not even looking for it. It's there. And I would blame 90% of what's going on with me right now on that. So there are some things that you can't just say, well, I wasn't looking for, I was thinking about it and there it happened, because it wasn't like that. And I understand that. So I just want to say that to everyone, that I'm not saying that we're all looking for these negative things to happen, because I mean, they're there. They exist. And they are trying really hard to diminish, if not completely extinguish all of us without an extermination, so to speak. So I'm not saying that, but your battle, your spiritual battle, has everything to do with this and this, and you can overcome that. I firmly believe just by the way you think. I was on the phone with Candy earlier before we got on here, and out of the blue, me not thinking about anything of fibers or anything at all, right? Because I mean, the last thing I actually usually think about is fibers anymore. I'm usually like, crap, how am I going to feed my daughter? How am I going to pay the bills? Single mom, got to do this, that, and the other, which is still, in retrospect, not giving it to God and using my faith. So maybe that has influence. I don't know, but neither here nor there. I walk outside and I go out. There's my porch, backyard, and right in the very center of the porch is this big bundle and wad of fibers moving around, and you can certainly tell it's not a spider's web. And I'm getting ready to show you all because I actually emailed it to myself and I pulled it up to make sure it'll work. So Kenzie, fingers crossed, but because you haven't seen it yet either, because I was on the phone with you. I sent you a picture, but I mean, this is like the level that we sit. Like, I wasn't thinking along that level. That's how you know demons are real. The darkness is real. All of it exists. Nanotechnology, I don't care if you're on a scientific level of mind, scientifically minded. I don't even care. The thing is, it's still all at the end of the day, it comes from somewhere. It comes from a dark place. And I don't care if it comes from the man-made dark place, the spiritual realm of darkness, the demonic realm of darkness, or UFO, astro hell of darkness. I really don't care. It's still a dark place, and a dark place that it comes from. Who cares about whatever realm it's sitting on, whether it's modern or ancient or old or not even from this world? The point is, it's dark, it's ugly, and it doesn't belong. Created by darkness in
So
itself.
I need to add something to that. You're talking about the nanotechnology part. You know, so many people when you bring that up, when you're talking about Morgellons, May, it's like, oh well, no, I go with the science. Well, guess what? If you look up
Yeah.
nanotechnology, it is science.
It
It's
is science
science,
indeed.
and yeah, science.
Everything in our life is science if you think about it. I
The
mean, right?
definition. Let me get my phone. I want to bring up the definition.
Yeah. I mean, like, science is nothing more than just a definition of what might be cause and effect, what, the influences or the elements of things consisting of to happen, which also involves God, because that would be an influence, that would be a creator, that would be an element of your scientific formation in your ways and thinking of your thought process. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. So I don't ever knock science. I have to laugh at those that are strictly science, like, oh no, we just did that. We're like, add a little bit of that, a little bit of that, and then boom, create a big old fight. No, not that science. No, not that one. Definitely not that one. Nor the Georgia Guidestone woman that says, that was my really eccentric great uncle. And I mean no harm in saying this.
So I gotta turn the
You
light on.
are a troll and you need to wake the big truck up, because it is written on those stones. And I don't know what la la land you came from, but it is not a la la land. I have no problem saying this because the Lord flat out said, you know your enemies. Know your enemies. And you are one of those, and you know who you are. And I think a lot of you on here watching this right now know who I'm speaking of. Know your enemies, people. They're real, they're big, they're bad, but they're still going to lose at the end of the day.
I can't see without my glasses.
You want to borrow mine here? Just kidding. I know, I'm like that. Okay, so I'll tell. So the definition of, I'll do it for you. So
I'm gonna find my
scientific.
glasses while you're doing that.
Oh, I was gonna do it for you.
Yeah, let me find my glasses anyway.
Okay. So we're gonna find this out. It doesn't really matter, though. The thing is, we all know that that was a man-made term as well. But it says based on or characterized by the methods and principles of science. Well, we got to go revert back to science there, don't we? Informal, systematic, methodical. How many people will buy food in an organized, scientific way? Yeah, no, science seems to be seemingly its own term, coming from this earthly, worldly realm, as far as I can see as of now, because now we got to revert back to the non-plural world. It's just science. So science is also just in human language. It means nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah, mine says nanotechnology is defined by size as naturally broad, including fields of science as diverse as surface science, organic chemistry, molecular biology, semiconductor physics, energy storage, energy engineering, microfabrication, and molecular engineering.
Right.
So it's science. So, how can you say
Well, I just looked up science on that, and then that aspect right there. So that's the intellectual and practical activity of encompassing the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. Let me emphasize through the physical structure of the natural world. What is not covered in this definition? Oh, yeah, the spiritual realm, the frequencies, the dimensions. It's nowhere at all in here in your, your definition of science is that there. So I will applaud you all day long, you science people out there. I will, because in this realm, you were dead on. But what do you got outside of that? Maybe you should talk to Tesla. Just saying. There's a frequency level to this. There's a vibrational frequency level. Cymatics definitely comes into play, and dimensions, which and nowhere in the science, the definition of science, did I see anywhere. So congratulations, welcome to the physical real world. You are of flesh and bone, but does your heart beat? Do you feel love? Do you feel pain? Do you feel hate? Do you feel sadness and sorrow? Do you cry? Do you think that's just an influence of your physical being? Or could that possibly be an influence of everything outside of your scientific explanation that you ever thought it was? I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there. So, Candy, can I show this? What do you think? I got to show you guys what was on my porch earlier.
Yeah.
So that way I don't come across boring, because I am kind of boring. I don't know, but let me see if I can do this now. Let me guess. Let me just take a wild guess. Probably disappeared on me. Okay. Is it up? Because I can't see from my end.
No.
Oh, shite. Shite is a German word. So I honestly just said a bad word, even though I tried to totally sugarcoat that. So shame on me. I'm just going to say it right now. Okay, I think what I got to do is I got to take both of us down here. I think. Maybe. No, sure. Okay, I'm going to share. Not share, not share. I'm trying to share. I want to share. I always play well with others. All right, let's see if this is it. This is my gal. Okay, is it up?
Don't see it. Oh, there we go. It's there.
Okay, thank goodness.
Yep.
Because I have a hernia in my rectum. That's not even cool. Okay. So this was just tonight. I got on my porch. It doesn't even look like your, spider web. I mean, we all know what those look like. They're very structured. They're coarse, aren't they? I mean, this is nothing like that. I just call the fiber bundle a loser. That's what I do. Let's see if the other one will show up like this. Oh, that's cute. It's getting jiggy with it there. And maybe. Now, my friend Sheila shared this with me. That is my screensaver, but I love this. So let me see if I can get the other one up here. I mean, obviously, nothing works with me very well here, but you know what? I don't guess the other one came through. It's not looking like it, which is not surprising at all. So
Well, let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, I sent it to you. I have an iPhone too, but it just never shows up the same.
No, it didn't come through.
Oh.
It did not come through on my
And it's because I'm trying to show things. Let me try this. Okay. I'm just going to play it from my phone exactly as it is.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to pray that it like shows up. So. Wait. Is that right?
There you go. That's it. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so keep in mind it's muggy out and there's no wind blowing. This is me pretty much saying there's no wind blowing. Uh-oh. Trying to turn my volume up for you guys, but shut up, Siri. Nobody's talking to you. Okay, so I'm trying to show you, like, okay, then I saw this one little leaf moving on its own. So I'm like, squirrel. But long story short, and the sand's just bouncing around. It's like you can see my porch, my yard. There's no other white fibers anywhere. I walk out, I'm talking to you, and plop right there in the middle of my porch is that. And the thing's moving everywhere, doing weird things. Yo, guys! Like, I mean, it's like waving and crap, and I'm just waiting for those things to like do what they normally do and like literally pole vault themselves into my skin.
Hey, he's almost big enough to put a leash on.
Right? I mean, this thing was not small, and he's like, "Take a bow, take a bow." I'm like, he's like a rapper or something. But
Hey, Derek.
I'm thinking of. But I mean, the thing's moving everywhere, and it's like a dead, calm, muggy, Texas day here. Nothing's moving, and no trees are blowing. Not even the little grass spectacles are—they're not even moving. So
Hey,
here's me showing my yard.
The next time you see one of those, right? Go on the internet and get you some sci-fi music and start.
Oh yeah, that's what I made my videos with.
Yes.
But see, I mean, like that's a big plop of.
Yeah.
You can't tell me some spider's like, oh crap, I gotta poop right now, a freaking spider web out. Like that's what they do. Like they just like let me go to the middle of her deck, nowhere at all to be hidden, to take care of my spider babies, to where like the world won't harm them. They're just gonna go right in the middle of my deck and have a freaking load of fibers shoot out their butts. I'm thinking not. I'm thinking this came exactly from where I know they come from the sky, meant just for me, and he's still waving like a little glorified fiber that he is, not. But I mean, I'm trying to show everyone, like, okay, here's my surroundings. I'm on the phone with Candy at the time, and I walk out, and hello, this guy's waving at me. He's like, and you cannot tell me that's spider web. The spider webs do not look like that on any level. I don't see any little eggs in there, do you? And he's like, I'm gonna grow feet and walk here in a second. He's like, no, but I got the beat, I got the beat, I got the beat. Morgellons got the beat, got the beat. So, yeah, I just was trying to be.
Where's the music?
So yeah, story of my life, just one of the many. True story though. This happened like not even an hour ago with Candy on the phone with me. So Candy, show everyone that beautiful hair of yours. Oh, I love it. You look so good.
Where all the girls are, but yeah, I just got
she cut her hair, guys.
Half my hair. I'm like,
look how beautiful that is, and I can't believe it's still so long and gorgeous.
Well, it's layered too now, so it's not as thick.
Hey, Derek.
As it was.
Oh, it looks so good. You look just stunning. I mean, the hair is just to die for. Literally, that looks amazing. I'm so amazed every day.
And like I said, what was great was like, it's not like I had to cut my hair because of this stupid stuff we have. It was like I chose to cut my hair, So.
Did you ask Aunt Stacey if you could go over there? Okay. Sorry. I got children things going on. Oh, she's in her underwear. Maybe I should not turn that like that. Oh, her swimsuit. That's nothing like underwear. Oh, you're gonna go swimming in front of everyone in your underwear swimsuit? Welcome to my life. Well, then maybe you shouldn't be in public like that.
Tell her I say hi.
Candy says hi.
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 Your food is on the table.
My food is on the table. Thank
Your
you.
chips are gonna get soggy.
I got soggy chips. Thank you. Okay, she farted. Literally just farted live.
Sorry.
You're not sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. Yes, my daughter just farted on live YouTube. Okay, bye, Felicia. Gosh. All right, we're good. Wow. Yeah, you should toodles now.
Derek says
no,
keep
Tracy
it.
does.
He says keep it long. It looks great. I already cut it, dude. I'm like,
Yeah,
all
she did cut it. It was way down her back and butt area. Shyla, catch you later. I love her so much. Can't even tell you. I love you. Mwah. Bye. Okay. Go me. So, anyways, I have to be proud though. She does work, and she's 16. So she's annoying, and she farts on live TV. So, yeah, couldn't be prouder, really. I mean, it's got more cojones than I have. Anyways, all right. So with this all said, Candy, Derek's right. Keep it long, but she already cut it, and it looks great. And you should have seen how long it was before. But she has gorgeous hair, and mine was just as long as hers up until Morgellons. Mine was literally, son of a bitch. That hurt. It was all the way down to my butt too. Actually, I don't think it was quite as long as yours. It was probably about 3 or 4 inches shorter than yours right before I got sick with this. And I was like experiencing all the feelings of movement and whatnot. And I'm like, I'll just cut it, So I did the short bob thing. And about, 7 years? This is as long as well, actually, it was grown out longer. But I let someone else trim it just recently. And apparently a trim means take off 3 inches. So it is what it is, guys. My dad always says your hair is your crown and glory. Bible talks about that. I've always felt it. Plus, it was a place to hide, and don't always have that anymore. But I used my hair to hide a lot of times. I did. But I mean, honestly, it is. It's your crown and glory. And Cindy, you wear your crown and glory well. And beautiful, stunning, gorgeous. And I'm proud of you for keeping it and making it look even better today. So,
well, and I never shaved it, and all those times I had that creepy crawly, and everybody was like, "Oh, you got to shave it."
And everyone's like, "Wow, how can you stand that?" And I'm just like, we're all different at the end of the day. We are. And I can stand it because I knew better. I knew better.
Again, reminding everybody, once I started using that borax in my shampoo, all that stuff went away. It's all cleared my scalp.
Yes. And I mean, I have to agree with that too, because that's exactly what I used for the longest time. And I didn't experience the creepy crawlies at all after that. So I probably should start using it again. I'm not experiencing that at all. But I got in the habit of flipping my hair forever and a day because I did feel it. And everyone's like, "Why are you flipping your hair all the time? And then you're on a podcast, you're flipping your hair back and forth like you just don't care. What's up with that? Why are you doing that, huh?" Well, it is. It's a habit. And I mean, that should be the least of your concerns every day, all day long. You should not even be concerned with why I do this. Or if I shove my finger up my nose hole, you shouldn't even be concerned with that. No concern of yours. But with that said, yeah, you're right. Borax, folks. It does work. I need to use some more, though, because I don't ever want to experience that feeling again. And I didn't ever shave my head either. I did chop my hair short. Always afraid to shave it, but I do not knock the people that did, because you know your body better than anyone. You know what you're feeling, you know what you're going through, and again, we're not all cookie cutter people. We are all different. And so to those of you that did, man, bless you. You're brave and strong, and you're still beautiful. Nothing's going to ever take that beauty from you. So, and you are loved, by the way. So loved. Everyone's loved. You are never forgotten. Just don't forget that this matrix that we supposedly live in ain't got nothing on our God, okay? Nothing on that faith to keep, that hope that you have firmly planted, and just the drive to get through the day and go on in tomorrow, and just you have no quit in you. And for that, you're warriors. You're warriors every day. And I think that's about all I have to say tonight. I am tired. I obviously didn't interrupt very much, so I must be really tired. So, because I never mean to. But I just, I love you guys. I love you, Candy, and I'm proud of all of you every day. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, just I love you too, and I'm just so glad we finally got to do this tonight. And I'm like,
I know. I am so sorry. I was so sick. And that's the other thing is like, I don't have a husband. I don't have my family members don't believe me and don't even check on me or I'll go do things. And it's like, I'm not loved. But I remind myself, I am loved. It's just that God is I guess, the reason I got out of that bed. I mean, my daughter loves me, don't get me wrong, but she's busy too. But just trying to be all of that in the bag of Doritos or whatever your preference is, it's hard sometimes, guys. So for the general public out there, please cut us some slack. It's just so hard. We do this alone. It's a battle that yeah, very personal level battle, but it is real. It's as real as it gets. And it's not easy. And if you're me, it's not easy being cheesy. So, 2 thumbs up. All right, guys. Love you, love you, love you. Candy, I'm so glad I got to see you tonight. And I do apologize again for last week. And it was beautiful as ever and always a hero. And by the way, I'm so glad you got your shirt.
oh yeah, can I show them?
I don't check my Facebook hardly ever, so I didn't know. But I was thinking, I'm like, that's why I was asking, like, do you have any pictures of when you were here? Because my phone got wiped out. So I had to go into the Walgreens account where we had the business cards made. And I had to, like, screenshot that and snag it over and try to, like, define it better and make it to where it would show up on a shirt. So I thought, if there's anyone in the world that needs to wear this shirt because you see doctors, you talk to people, and you make a difference, I'm like, it's Candy Nelson. So,
Hey, did you see the where I took the little business card, which I still need to get some more of those, but I took it and was able to just trim a little bit off of it, and I have a resin mold that the card fits perfect in there, and I'm gonna pour clear resin in there.
that's awesome idea. Yeah, so you can see the card through it. That's awesome. That's why, like, when people tell me they get my gifts or whatever, I find out later. I don't check Facebook hardly ever because I'm always working. It seems like all I do is work, and then anytime I have is always committed to just trying to take phone calls from beautiful friends or this. And so I'm sorry. And I need to catch up because I miss being able to see all of the posts, especially when it comes to us, the Morgellons, the community. It's just that I gotta eat. I gotta feed my teenage daughter who farts a lot, and that's a load right there. Like, no pun intended, but it is a load. That's especially a load for her to carry, apparently. But yeah, it's all right, guys. We're gonna get through this because we have the faith like a mustard seed, and we have the spirit and soul and the drive. We're warriors. I mean, of course, we're gonna get through it. We're just gonna brush it off and be like, not today, Satan day, not any day.
Well, like I said too, we survived stuff that they can't even look at. It's like I don't want to see that. I'm like, I lived through it.
We have lived through the horror movies, guys. We have. All of you have lived through a very personal horror movie, which would terrify the general public, and they could never get through it. Be proud of yourselves. Be proud. You have no quit in you. I know you don't. Don't give up. You have no quit. You're warriors, and you were made for a time such as this. This I assure you. So with that said, signing off, Lisa and Candy Nelson are going night-night. I'm going to eat my haters first. All right. Love you guys. Bye.